I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Woohoo! Happy Easter Sunday, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am from home, joined by my gaggle of gals. We have somewhere on the screen.
Wait, where am I? I'm right here.
We'll start with Michael Mattes.
Hi, Michael Mattes.
Michael Mattes. And Bimby right back there.
Oh, look at Bimby.
Not knowing what the hell's going on. But
probably looking at you and still wondering, why are you home so often?
What are you doing and why are you talking to that thing? What are you saying?
Then, of course, we have bum.
Hey everyone, Chelsie Overocker. Happy Easter to everyone.
Yay! And of course, pretty in pink, giving us all the Easter feels. We have.
Hi everyone, Tami Goveia.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _DISHIN Days on the Twitter. Even in quarantine, the @ will always be implied. And if you are a lover of soaps, make sure you check out all of our other soap opera recaps. We have the GH Report and also Restless Rep. I think those are going on, but check them out anyway. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, hello podcast listeners, make sure you like us and follow us and subscribe and rate us 5 stars because we want to continue bringing you all the latest dish of Days of Our Lives. All right, y'all. Coming up later on today, we have some special guests for another quarantine check. So make sure you guys stick around after our recap because you don't want to miss it. We had a blast last week and we're going to have another blast this week. I think everyone enjoyed the quarantine check last week.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really good.
Fans and cast.
And that was unexpected. It was an unexpected party. So what did we think of this week's episodes of Days?
It's all right.
Y'all are taking. Yeah. Am I delayed? Y'all.
I feel like no. I think next week's going to be the good week, but this was the week where we had like the next good week set in motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was setting things up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I really liked the way they did the reveal to Eric and Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't one of those she overheard the conversation or it was by accident. It was just very intentional, and I appreciated that. I like that.
Yeah. And it bounced off you, Tami. I like how Nicole confronted Eric first, and then he had his goodbye with Mickey, Rachel, and then he went ahead and told Sarah. So yeah. I like the format, how that all came out.
Totally.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting week, and I think it started off with a bang, and I think it's just preparing us for what's about to happen. So yeah, I think it's about to hit the fan next week. But let's talk about this week. Let's break it all down. It's now time to start DISHIN Days. Now, of course, once again, and I told James Lott Jr. this, I was going to forget the hourglass.
Oh my God.
I was going to do it. So here we are. I forgot the hourglass again. But the bum will do. All right. So let's kick it off with the biggest storyline this week with Brady, Kristen, Sarah, Eric, Nicole, Xander, and of course, the other Kyriakis family. So basically this week, we saw the ripple effect of Eric and Sarah finding out that baby Mickey is not theirs, that it is in fact Brady and Kristen's. What did you guys think about that ripple effect and how they kind of?
Well, I like how in both instances when Nicole told Eric, she did not hesitate or mix words or anything. She came right in from her trip and said, I have something to tell you, and this is what happened. Blah, 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 DNA test, Dr. Rayner, the kid ain't yours.
Yeah.
Like there was none of this usual Nicole business of like, oh, I'm going to hide it. Oh, I'm afraid of losing Eric, so I'm going to keep it a secret or anything like that. And, you know, we saw last week where once she found everything out, she was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna, she was almost having remorse for going after the secret and finding out. But she really didn't hesitate. She told Eric the truth, but then was kind of nudging him to be like, I won't say nothing if you won't say nothing.
Which is so typical Nicole.
Yeah. But this time she wasn't keeping the secret to herself, Like, well, I mean, she didn't really keep the first baby secret to herself either. It was kind of shared between her and Sarah. But it wasn't usual Nicole form. She told Eric first and then gave him the decision, made it his decision of whether they told her or not. So I think Nicole's
thinking, you've been with Eric for how long?
Yeah.
You really need to make the suggestion for him to hide it. He's not capable of that.
Well, and she made it, she made it, whatever he decided. She didn't really push him.
No, she's like, I'll be behind you.
She was just like a gentle nudge, but then, it was like, whatever you decide, I'll support.
I'll support you. Yeah.
It's almost like Nicole's growing a little bit. Whereas before she might have kept it to herself. She didn't.
Yeah. I think the way that she handled it was really good. And I like that it wasn't this big thing where everyone found out at once. I like the fact that, it was kind of like, she had to explain herself to Eric, and then Eric explained what happened to Sarah. And then I think from there, they're going to figure out how to tell Brady and Kristen. However, though, Brady is already starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
And Kristen's losing her mind. She's like gone off the deep end.
Well, when she was holding that baby and she was just like, no, I was like, oh gosh.
You're like, Kristen, you've made so much progress.
Yeah.
You're going to go back.
It's like,
I was not expecting that.
It's like, girl, if you
I was like, once you saw the baby come in, or not the baby, once you saw the nurse come in to take the baby, she's like, can I just have one more minute? I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, it's
you
like,
don't want to give up that baby.
No, girl, you can't have one more minute. It's only 30 minutes. So like, let that baby go. That is not your baby. But side note, I knew that they had jobs like that. I would totally volunteer at a hospital to hold a baby.
Oh, they totally have that. Yeah. In a lot of hospitals.
I would so do that, but I would give the baby back. Like,
well,
I wouldn't keep the baby.
It should have been a red flag when the nurse came in and Kristen said, my baby.
Is that my baby?
If I was the nurse, I would be like,
this is the baby you're going to be holding for half an hour.
Well,
maybe not a good idea.
Well, that's what the nurse said. The nurse was like, no, this is baby Liliana, born to, she had to reiterate that, like, no, bitch, this ain't your baby. This is just the one that you're holding. Like, calm down. Like,
Tami, you said like you didn't. And maybe one of these is coming, but you said you didn't like it that it was like, I'm sorry, you liked it, you appreciated it that it wasn't like a big reveal where everyone found out. Those kinds of reveals are my favorite. Like, I love it when everybody finds out and everyone has a reaction.
Yes.
So you like the New Year's Eve shows where everyone's in the restaurant and then Stefano walks in.
Or the tearing of the Nicole mask off Kristen. That was a recent good one.
So you like public humiliation is what you're saying.
Not humiliation. It's not humiliation. It's just, public revelations.
But here's the thing, that those reveals are great, but sometimes it's nice to kind of switch it up. And I think this was great because of the nature of it and the sensitivity of it. There's a baby involved, and not only the switch of a baby, but the death of a baby as well. So it's kind of like they kind of have to, like, it can't be this big reveal like, y'all's baby is dead and that's your baby. Like, we wouldn't want that reveal.
Hear about the baby?
Dead.
I almost like when I was watching the scene between Eric and Sarah, and again, he really did not sugarcoat it. Really, he was just like, "Our baby is dead," and I kind of chuckled, and I was like, "Cheer about the baby, dead." But yeah, there was no like he just went the same with Nicole. Nicole kind of went right into it when she got home, when she got back, and then Eric went right into it when Sarah came over. Mm-hmm. There was no like, maybe have a drink first or anything. Just like, you know what, this Band-Aid's got to be ripped off. So
yeah. And it was interesting too how Sarah assumed that the doctor made a mistake and said, Dr. Rayner's an amazing doctor. She would never make that kind of mistake. And he said it wasn't a mistake. It was intentional.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what?
Also that she didn't believe the paternity test when Eric gave it to her.
Right.
She was like, anyone could have doctored that up.
I wouldn't either.
But I was like, honey, that one's
well, yeah,
not
she couldn't go by what was on paper alone.
Yeah.
Like, yes. So, but she's still like, I feel like, well, I guess part of me was like, she doesn't have enough evidence to fully believe it, but I think she does. And now she's gonna go get Xander. Now Xander's in for a.
I feel so bad for him.
Listen, the way that she came into the Kyriakis mansion.
Oh my God.
I was like,
came off of.
I was like, listen, forget drunk Sarah. Mad Sarah is about
revenge Sarah. Yeah, revenge.
Yeah. But I feel so because I really wanted this couple to like work. You know what I mean? Yeah. I liked this pairing together, and I just hate that like, we get this and then we get it ripped away from us. It's not fair.
Like what Xander did was wrong.
But I'll take Xander. Hey.
Girl, calm down.
Me? Weren't you the one that tweeted out the shirtless photo of Xander earlier this week?
Oh, was I?
You calm down. Okay, but
I think I'm most proud of all of the tweets I've done for DISHIN Days. I think that was one of my proudest.
Lord.
No, anyway. No, okay, so what Xander did was wrong.
Yes, it was very wrong.
It's interesting how we can kind of like feel bad that he's getting caught.
Yeah. I think because here's the thing. It wasn't done out of pure malice. It was done out of protecting others and having to weigh who should be protected at this point. Like at first it was all Maggie. And then it was like, but we can't let Maggie go through all of this. And it's such an intricate way of trying to care for people when we all know that like, the truth is just better. But it wasn't done out of malice. It was done with the pure.
It was done with somewhat good intentions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
listen,
so that's why we can do it.
Sarah and Xander are each other's lobsters, and they will find their way back to each other.
I at least hope so. Chelsea, what do you have to say? You're quiet.
I know I'm trying to get in, but I don't want to interrupt anyone.
No, listen, honey, you got to get in, especially now. Like we on Zoom, it's the delayed internet. You just got to jump on in.
Okay, I'll jump on in. I don't want to interrupt anyone though. Okay, well, going back though, I just kind of with Kristen when we were doing like what she was just being aggressive at the baby. I like who Kristen is now before that aggression. I'm just really nervous that she's going to go back to her old ways. Finally, when she gets Rachel back, she has Brady now. I don't want her to go back into old Kristen mode and want to get this revenge. And I just have a feeling she's going to do that. So that's just kind of my first fear. But I think this is the first time where someone like Xander, I feel bad for him, even though he was the bad guy in this situation. I really want Sarah and Xander to work things out. And normally with most Days characters, if there's like a big reveal, it's like you want like someone like Xander, you're kind of thinking, okay, I cannot wait till he gets what's coming to him. But in this situation, I'm dreading it.
Yeah, I feel so bad. Like going back to when Sarah entered the living room.
I just don't want, well, and okay, so I am looking forward to seeing the performance of it, like from a, fan of drama standpoint. I'm not looking forward to what we saw in, I feel like we saw this in a promo where Eric, when Eric gets his turn with Xander, I'm not looking forward to that.
No.
Because he's going to be like, I don't want to live.
You took my baby.
Exactly.
Well, because I'm not going to take away his feelings that, yes, Eric should be upset, especially with everything that Xander has done. He lied about the paternity of the baby first and foremost, but then again, it wasn't his baby to begin with. Wasn't their Sarah and Eric's baby to begin with. So I get Eric's anger, but I think the reason why we're kind of like, oh Lord, here come Eric, is because it's like he gets angry like that. You know what I mean? Like you tell him bad news and he's like, what? You know, and it's like first process it and then, you know, so.
Especially when it comes to Xander. Like Xander seems to be like, Xander burps and he's like, what did you have for? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That voice.
Let's be clear. This isn't just Xander. Okay,
This
nobody
Victor
knows.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, Victor,
I don't hear anything about Victor's role in this. It's all Xander. And
you notice how Victor was like, I'm just gonna go hang out with Maggie in jail. He was like, I want no part of this.
And just leaving Xander out to dry.
Yep, exactly.
But I really love that scene between them though, when Victor finally said really good stuff to Xander.
Yeah. Gave him the ring or a coin?
Some kind of coin, like family.
It's a family heirloom from his father.
From his father and his
grandfather.
Victor's father, Xander's grandfather. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like it because Victor said you earn your spot in this family, and you just see Xander's face light up because that's all he's ever wanted was Victor's approval.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was a good moment between them. But I hope Victor is going to stand by Xander and just be like, "Oh, that's all of your doing with the baby switch." I hope he really comes to his side saying, "Yeah, I wanted to protect Maggie," and maybe that will smooth it over a little bit between Sarah and Xander. But I don't know.
I can't see Xander taking the fall and not having Victor step up and go, listen, it was the two of us.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's wrath, it's too much for one person. Like it's got to go on to Victor as well because it's going to get ugly.
Well, and you know Victor, he's going to just sit there and be like, yep, I did it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I would do it over again.
Yeah.
And Sanders said the same thing, I think. He has no regrets. He would do the exact same thing over again.
Yeah. Do we how do we feel about Maggie in jail?
She looks so cute.
She does.
I was like, oh, she got her hair done. Good for her.
It's so weird that like she's in jail. It's like
I feel like that was a little bit, we did see her leave to turn herself in like a week or so ago. And then so from that and then having no Maggie and then seeing her in jail, it was a little abrupt for me.
Yeah.
I had to be like, oh yeah, she's in jail. But then we didn't see her like getting booked. We didn't see her actually being taken off to jail. We just kind of saw her leave the house.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, so y'all just gonna leave Maggie in jail? Like,
yeah, also that.
Yeah, like okay.
She's actually in jail. How long is she gonna be there?
Right.
Well, it's her choice. I mean, Victor's lawyers could fight it, but she won't have it.
Something. There's a reason. Days doesn't do anything without a reason. I don't see them just leaving Maggie in jail without a reason for her to be in jail.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to clear up, and then there's going to be some Maggie jail storyline that's going to pop up. I feel like, at least I hope so.
But I'm glad they brought Maggie in during that time, just so Sarah could be like, this is my dress. Because if they had to bring Maggie in on the canvas, that was the perfect time to do it. That was a cute moment.
Yeah. Oh, and then
Chelsea, your top is so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Thank you.
That's a cute color. And then they had a Jailhouse Rock moment when she was like, I made this for you. I was like, oh, girl. Like, I would have laughed if it was a license plate that said just married. That would have been funny.
What's their ship name? Xander and Sarah? Zara?
Oh, I don't know. No one has said it.
The license plate, Zara?
Oh, you stupid. All right, so let's keep this train moving right along before... Because it's going to be 4:00 before you know it, and our guests are going to start arriving.
33:35, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So Stephen O, Kayla, Justin, Rolf, John, Marlena, and the Damaras.
Jack's impersonation of Dr. Rolf when he was talking to Jennifer was cracking me up. my God.
I love a good Dr. Rolf impersonation.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like the serum is holding up quite well, don't you think? I insist that I see Stefano right away.
Right away. My goodness.
The moment when I felt bad for Kayla, because at this point everyone had their chip removed, and then she went to Ralph and was basically like, you got to remove the chip from Steve, from Patch too. And he was like, basically no. Like it
was not part of the deal. That sounded nothing like him.
And yeah. I was like, dang. So, and then she was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. I was like, that's right, girl. And then in the operating room, I was like, listen, I don't know what videos you have watched or how many, you had watched it twice, but did you go back and review the tape or whatever? But this chip was different. Like it was all wrapped in some tissue, and she had to go through. But then she kept, and then it almost self-destruct. But then like, was
that countdown? What was that?
It was a countdown till the chip was about to self-destruct.
Are you sure?
Yes. And she kept having a conversation with Sarah, and I'm like, tick-tock, like, let's go. Like
they said 60 seconds, like a minute and a half ago.
And you giving a minute monologue about what you should do. Like, you're gonna have to cut some open and take some out.
It made me laugh. I was like, really, I thought it was ridiculous. Like that whole, this chip's gonna self-destruct. I'm like, no, just let her take the damn thing out. And then I started laughing because I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Spaceballs, but when the ship self-destructs, that's what it reminded me of. So then I started laughing because it reminded me of Spaceballs. But
well, we get, like you said, Tami, this minute monologue, and maybe I watched too many Grey's Anatomy, but I like how she's wondering, like it takes longer for her to make a decision if she's going to take the chip out, and then it only takes like 2 seconds just to take it out. She's like, all right, she's like, it's done.
You hear it drop, and you're like, did she even do anything?
Yeah.
Like, she just like poked at it and it went blop. And like all that build up for so little. I'm like, I feel like that whole moment, like the self-destruct element didn't need to happen. That whole, I don't know. They could have created some other obstacle, but it was just like, okay. Well, and then like people in the chat room are like, okay, where was that? Is there a speaker in the chip? Like, how big is this chip? Like, where's that?
Well, see, that's why I didn't think it had anything to do with the chip. I thought I don't know if he was flatlining, or I don't know if his vitals were going crazy. And there's something in the medical room that's saying 30 seconds.
No, it was
like something needs to happen.
It was the chip. The chip was like, this chip will self-destruct.
I so missed that. Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was like,
it was so ridiculous. Tami didn't even pick up on it.
Yeah.
That was a miss, writers. I'm sorry, but for me anyway, it was a miss for me.
No, I'm with you, Michael, on that. Yeah, it's just
either way. She was very.
Tony, for what?
Well, no, I was just saying she was very nervous about removing the chip because it was basically located in a part that she had to go through that was going to delete his memory. So, and Lord and behold, he comes to and memory deleted.
Who are you, pretty doctor?
Okay, so the other thing that was just a disconnect, and I had to be like, I can't think about it. The frontal, she was operating on the back of the head, but kept talking about the frontal lobe. So any biology oriented people, is the frontal lobe actually in the back of the head?
Of course.
I have no idea. It sounded to me like it sounded to me like she was going to have to like stitch that up and go through somewhere else. So and the frontal lobe is in the front of the brain, not neck. Yeah. That's what Jan just.
I almost took my phone out and Googled it, and then I thought, nope.
Well, that's what I thought was so funny, is because the whole time she making it sound like she has to go through all of this tissue to get the chip out. And then when she takes it out, it's less than like 3 seconds. It's like, all right, it's already out.
Done.
Done.
I'm like, no way. No way, no how. But now they're in the process of like trying to get Patch's memories back, and they brought in Dr. Marlena Evans to do the classic
That
hypnosis.
was
She was just trying to
cool.
leave.
I really like that.
She wasn't trying to leave. John was trying to get her out of there. But then she was like, oh wait, I need to make sure. And then it looked like she was full on working. She had a bunch of charts with her. I'm like, did she just decide she's like, while I'm here?
Well, she ain't been in the office for a second, so she might as well, do something. I don't.
Well, and then while all this is happening, Justin's off. Like,
oh,
poor Justin.
He's just, and the whole time, people in the chat room have said it. It's like he doesn't stand a chance.
No, it makes me so sad.
If Steve comes back to being Steve / Patch again,
it's done.
Well, we already saw that a little bit on Friday's episode when she's trying to jog his memory. She's telling him the story about when they got married and she couldn't speak and she couldn't hear and how he was there for her. So we're already seeing that pull, and Patch isn't back yet.
Well, yeah, he had full on amnesia.
Yeah, he has inflammation.
Yeah.
Because of the inflammation.
Yes, from the surgery.
And then Jack and Jennifer were just kind of there to support everybody.
Yeah.
But it was good to see them.
There was
definitely.
The moment with the Damaras was a very touching moment.
Oh, the kids.
Yeah. Like when they all came there and he was given like this big speech. I think that was literally the show saying, okay, we are really wrapping the whole Stefano storyline moment. Like, this is it.
But here's my question.
No, the Phoenix will not rise.
But what was the conversation that Stephen-O and Dr. Rolfe had? And he said to Dr. Rolfe, I have your word. You will follow this verbatim. Like, you will make sure this gets carried out. Yes. So
he went because then Rolfe went to Kayla,
I remember that.
And then Kayla called the Demira children in.
I think that's what
the last wish was, right?
Yeah.
But okay, my thing with that is I took the same thing from it that you took, Tony, that this was like the Stefano's final moment.
Bye, girl.
But at the same time, I was like, this is all the send-off he gets.
But there's something else coming. I don't think his essence is gonna come back, but there's something else in the works.
I just feel like if this was supposed to be like the end-all be-all of Stefano Demira, it should have been bigger in some way. But
how much big? Because keep in mind, the Joe Mascola, who has been passed for like a few years now, and the show can't keep saying, I think Stefano's alive. He might be here. He was seen here. And I'm not saying they should. But like, what bigger grandiose thing would you want for Stefano?
I don't know. It's just like, if this is the end of that character, the absolute end of that character, it just shouldn't have been like a scene in the middle of the hospital.
But I think that final "I love you" to the kids was huge.
Oh yeah,
I thought so too.
It was.
I think that was a huge moment.
I think the big moment that you're looking for was there in the hospital. Like, his whole thing has always been about his family. And so that's why he wanted to see his family one more time. And that's why he wanted to reiterate that, like, I do love you. Like, like, this is it. Like, and then they're going to wheel me out and take my chip back, So.
But I think Dr. Rolfe is up to something. I don't know what it is, but because what did Chad say? It's a chess game with him.
Yes. No, I'm with you, Tammy. And what makes me nervous is that ring is still around. And
Abigail put that ring on.
Abigail has it. Yeah. So I don't know if there's still going to be something with that ring, and Dr. Rolfe is going to.
Maybe Stefano's essence will go into Abigail. Abino.
No, but they've already done that though. They did that with Lexi. Although I loved it when they did it with Lexi. When Lexi took ways after Stefano, I was like, yes, I kind of like this. And she had on that red dress with the pop. I was like,
yes, when she became like the new Kristen. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
When she went from good girl to bad girl, Lexi, my gosh. Shout out to Renee Jones, because Lexi was on the back burner as this goody two-shoes character. And then they said, you know what? We're going to make you truly Stefano's daughter. And she took it and ran with it. That was some of the best storylines I've seen on Days, with her playing like the Kristen-esque kind of character. Yeah. I miss that now.
A lot of people are in the chat are saying, Stefano's not gone, and that it looks like someone said Justin only belongs with Adrian.
Nah.
True, but like, in order for the show to progress, y'all can't keep these characters together all the time. Like, sometimes they got to shake it up. I don't understand why people want to.
Steve and Kayla have been. They want Steve and Kayla together for a while.
Yeah.
Steve and Kayla have been apart for a long time, so now it's their time to be together for a while. Justin, unfortunately, is the casualty, but he'll find another lobster.
But mind you, everyone's always like, oh, I want these couples together because they're the super couple. But then it happens, and then what happens? Days is so boring. Well, I wonder why, because y'all don't allow.
Well, yeah, I'm not.
You want the same thing over and over again.
That's just the natural phases of the show. Like, the couple gets happy, they're boring. Then some other drama will come for Patch and Kayla, and they'll split up again eventually.
Yeah.
But for now, we need them together.
Cherie in the chat room says, I will always keep my eye out for the Phoenix. It would have to be like 5 whole years of him gone before I believe.
Even then, like, you'd still be like.
Someone said Justin can date Hope. Nope.
I don't think. No, people won't go for that.
No, the only other person I would have wanted with Hope is Aiden, and we all saw what happened with that. But that's pretty much it with that storyline, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now we're going to get into a little bit of business brought to you by me, Tony. All right, so we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to grow, we need your help. Now, if you're on YouTube right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and make a comment. But no matter where you are, leave a comment so that you can get involved in the conversation. And you can also follow us on all social media platforms. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to us, and we truly appreciate you guys supporting us and doing what we love. And don't forget, tell your friends, tell your best friend, tell your husband, your wife, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your aunt, your uncle, your great niece, whoever is around. Let them know what we're doing over here and keep enjoying our shows.
Yay!
This announcement brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, so let's get into a tidbit, which is Ben, Sierra, Rafe, and Evan Christian.
This was just kind of like a blip on the radar this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was also kind of like, Ben, what job do you think you're going to get after everybody, saw that you killed everybody?
He even said he couldn't get past the receptionists.
No, and then it's like, but then I was like, well, why isn't anyone hiring Sierra? She ain't been in the news. Oh, because they were seen together. Small town.
Well, it's probably been in the news that she put Evan Christian at gunpoint or something. Just the bad publicity.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what storyline's going to happen with them next, because I like, though, that they are bringing them with the storyline of trying to find jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think whatever job they're going to take next is going to lead into another storyline with them. But again, I mean, Kate right now doesn't have a job, supposedly. So it would be great if all 3 of them did something. I don't know what it would be yet, but
because Kate wouldn't be afraid of Ben.
No.
Kate's not afraid of anybody.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
Kate's not afraid of herself. They could do a Robo Kate and she'd be like, you'll never be me.
Yes. Calm down.
What did you guys think of Evan Christian calling Ben to the police station to apologize for what he did?
I was hoping for more of a more intense confrontation, I guess.
Yeah. Ben wasn't buying it though. He was just like, this is a desperate plea. And I'm like, I actually think Evan Christian really isn't a bad guy. I think this is circumstance.
Well, he keeps claiming that, he keeps claiming that it was an accident killing Jordan. I just feel like the way that they presented it to us, that was not an accident.
No, you don't put a tie around someone's neck
and do this for like a good minute without intending to kill them. No. So I don't buy that it was an accident.
I mean,
he may not have gone there with the intention of killing her, but in that moment, strangling her, his intention was to kill her.
But he made a good point of like, you know, something came over him when it came to, you know, his kid and possibly losing David.
Do you think he has any issues like Ben had at the beginning when he was the necktie killer with mental issues?
he tried to no, I don't think he has mental issues, but he did try to make that connection with Ben.
Yeah.
Like you weren't in your right mind when you killed Wendy, Will, Age. Like you weren't in your right mind. So don't be over here trying to act like.
What did he say? He's like, you know that better than you know that just as well as I do, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think
then he went back to the hotel and him and Sierra got freaky.
Somebody I didn't tell you guys this. So someone on one of the Days Facebook groups posted that they were so tired of seeing Sierra and Ben like making love. They didn't say that, but you know, I'm gonna use that word. And so and then someone was like, well, it's better than Will and Sonny. That's disgusting. And I don't know why, but I felt the need to reply. And I said, you know, I basically gave kudos that Days has done a wonderful job, you know, with that storyline. And they actually don't even show Will and Sonny like doing it like that. Mm-hmm. They literally do this. It's like, Will, Sonny, you want some? And then they come back, ooh, that was fun. That's how they do it all the time. And I was just like, and I did say the reason why they can't progress or why they basically had to tiptoe around that storyline was because of comments like this. So that was my little moment. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Anywho, but we all live for a shower moment, so keep them coming.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, and that's it. Yep. That's what happened this week.
Yeah.
That was a cute week. It's just setting us up for what's about to happen, because we know it's about to get real good next week. So y'all just hanker down and buckle up, because this Sarah's about to take us on a bumpy ride. But now it's time for our favorite part of the show, our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, there we go. You better be on it, Ryan. All right, so listen. First off, let me give honorable mentions to some possible snaps. One was the reunion of Marlena and Kristen, where Marlena kind of bared the hatchet with Kristen and they shook hands and everybody was kind of confused, but it was a very touching moment. Yes, it was decades of drama that was put to an end with a handshake. So I was like, that's cute. Of course, I have to give 3 snaps to Xander because that body was looking great. Yeah, but my official 3 Snaps Award goes to Kayla Johnson, who busted up in that hospital room, looked Stephen O right in the face and said, I'll be the one that's going to take out that chip. And I was like, you get your man. Although I really want you with Justin. But I was like, yes, you take matters into your own hand. You don't need Dr. Ralph. You saw the surgery twice. You don't need him. You'll figure it out. So Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans gets Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right. And now it's time for Designer Day. Ooh.
Okay, so this week it's going to Sarah, Miss Lindsay Godfrey, because this outfit, which I found rather puzzling, that she wore this to confront Xander.
Well, it was the dream,
but,
remember?
It was Xander's dream.
Yeah, it was Xander's dream when she wore that.
Oh, I thought, wasn't this the final scene though?
The final scene was when she was in her wedding dress and she walked in.
Oh, I thought this is what she wore to confront him.
That was the dream.
Oh, well, it still harkens to my original thought of basically this outfit is saying you will never get this ever again.
You just lost the best thing you ever had.
You just lost all of this. Exactly. Yeah. And so it is, let me see, it's a peacock satin robe by In Bloom by Jonquil. So, Ms. Lindsay Godfrey, you get this week's Designer Days.
Yes. And now it's time for
Caption That.
There we go. All right. This week's Caption That moment comes, thank you to Sarah, while she's looking at the DNA test results and thinking, what? And this week's caption goes to DualFan55 on Instagram with their caption, oh, wow, there really have been about 5,253 baby switches in Salem, haven't there?
That's good. That's
Cute.
good.
I thought it was cute. And that was this week's
Caption That.
All right, and now it's time for Wait, first, Michael Mattes. Wait, was that Michael Mattes that came in? Oh, that was you. I was like, Michael Mattes came in with the deepest voice. Ooh, yeah. I was like, is he using his Eric voice? No, it's just Ryan. Okay, sorry. All moment of the week, brought to you by Chelsea.
Okay, our all moment. Even though Steve isn't back, we did get a little bit of Kayla and Patch. Even though Kayla, and she reminds him of that time where she couldn't speak and they were getting married on a boat. And she says, when it was time for me to say my vows, I couldn't. So you helped pull the vows out of me. And now Caleb wants to do the same for Steve and get his memory back. So regardless of where it goes, I just like that she brought back that moment. And even Steve is just looking at Kayla like, yeah, we did have something, and, and he's just like, wow, how romantic of us. So you two, get my all moment. It's like, aw.
All right, and of course, shout out to Me World 2. I forgot last week to retweet it. I promised to retweet it this week. His Oh Shiz moment of the week. It's a good one. It's some good editing. And he worked very hard on it. So make sure you guys check out the Old Shiz moment of the week, brought to you by Me World 2. And now it's time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, just one quick thing to inform you about, very exciting. We are happy to announce that tickets are once again on sale for our DISHIN Days Quintennial event, rescheduled for the weekend of October 10th and 11th. With the entire lineup reconfirmed. And that lineup is Brock Kelly, Eric Martzoff, Kate Manzi, Billy Flynn, Scott Shillstone, Stacey Hayduke, Paul Telfer, and Jen Lilly. And stay tuned to Spectrum Celebrity Events social Instagram and Twitter tomorrow for a very special announcement.
Let me tell y'all, the announcement is good. I already know what it is.
It's what? It's good?
It's good.
If it's what you told us it was, then yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah. So I want to say it, but I can't say it.
Well, because people are gonna freak. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got. Let me tell you, take your stimulus money now and put it towards this event that's coming. Because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right.
Do we get to see the promo now or later?
We can do it now before the quarantine check-in.
We're gonna do it now. Okay. So everyone, it's that time to find out what's coming up on next week's episodes of Days of Our Lives.
I moved on. She's with Justin now. She is my wife, ex-wife. You are going to fight for her.
I think we're gonna see what's coming up.
You should fight for her.
I love them both.
I want to be the one. I love her more than ever.
So I've made a decision.
Justin's fighting for her.
Listen,
well, darn straight, Sonny. You need to fight for her.
Listen, when things start off like that, like I've made a decision, it's like, whew, Jesus. Okay.
There's no decision. She's not gonna. None of this was his fault. None of this was Patch's fault. She can't say, no, I'm not going to be with you.
I mean, that could be in the next story point, is her trying to reconcile. Like if her and Steve get back together, maybe that could be the next story. Like their next, drama is her trying to reconcile what happened, even though it wasn't really him. And crickets. Okay.
I'm processing it.
See, now you know how I feel when I say something and I'm like, hello? Hello? I actually want to know, like, how, I hope they explain it, like how they kidnapped him.
Yeah, well, I mean, they explained it kind of that he was on his way. They intercepted him on his way back to Salem at some point.
For some reason, I want to see it. I want to see the interception.
Him. Yeah.
And maybe that's when he was trying to get with Kayla, because he was coming back to Salem. Maybe that's when he realized he wanted to be with her. So that's why she's not going to hold against him.
Yeah. So his eye is gone, right? Like they never talked about what actually happened after the high heel.
I guess we're just left to assume that it was, did you hear about the eye? Dead.
Gone.
Yeah. So we're going to continue doing some just idle chit chat until we have our guests arrive. But in just a few minutes, we're going to head into our segment called the Quarantine Check. As you guys know, we have all been in quarantine for about 3 to 4 weeks now, depending on where you are. And we wanted
time.
Well, I know time is irrelevant. But we wanted to take time to just kind of check in on some of your favorite Days of Our Lives stars. So we reached out to a few people and they're going to pop in to check in and chit chat with us. So make sure you stick around because they'll be coming in a minute.
Yeah.
I think, Ryan, did you get my message? Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh, you did.
Okay. I see. We have someone waiting in the wings. We have our first guest, but it's one of 2 that are coming on. And I'm wondering if we should wait until the second person signs on so that we can then bring them in together. Because I think it's only right that we do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's Ryan, is our second person signed in yet? Okay.
Not quite, but we do have one on the wings.
Okay, perfect. Well, this is going to be the exciting part, is just waiting to see when they come in. I'm gonna send just a little message that says come on in.
So you guys in the chat room, who do you think might be coming in today? Who do you want to see?
Chat room people, who do you think is going to be in? And by the way, we have 236 people watching us.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hopefully the internet and bandwidth can withstand for our quarantine check.
Hopefully they're hitting that like button.
Oh yes, and don't forget to hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Hit a lot of it, so that way we can bring them in. Live TV, y'all. Okay, just kind of, it's kind of like, ooh, who is? Okay, let me see if people are guessing who it is. There was already, I will say, there was a hint earlier that was tweeted out, so that's one hint. Of course, Dwight Chandler Massey. Maybe. Someone said, "Let Joey out of prison." Oh, that's right. They didn't show Joey.
Still in prison.
That's right.
You know where Joey is?
Prison.
Someone said we're going to break the internet. You are definitely going to break the internet. Ryan, any update to the second person?
Do we know if they're together?
Oh. Well, no, they shouldn't be because we're in quarantine.
They shouldn't be.
Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead. Hold on one second. I'm getting.
I got it too.
Yeah. I'm like, what? See you next time. And I'm texting Mary back. Okay. Okay. Hold on.
DISHIN Days. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, perfect.
Other than Days of Our Lives, what's everyone watching to pass the time?
I'm
And
catching
other
up.
than Tiger King.
I haven't seen it yet. Should I see it?
I
know.
Maybe just see it to say you have.
I don't know if I want to jump on the bandwagon.
It's. I think it'll get you.
I'm catching up on. We have Shaws of Sunset.
Did you watch last night?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so you just
we have
watched
so much recorded that it's just sick.
Yeah.
So, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think starts next week.
It starts this coming week. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Isn't Eileen Davidson back?
No,
she's on at least one. But...
She makes an appearance,
just for one?
but she's not back.
Oh, okay.
She's not back fully. So y'all, let's go ahead and do the first check with our first guest while we connect with the second one. So we're gonna go ahead and bring in our first guest, which is Mr. Stephen Nichols.
Hey.
Hi. Wait, the audio is still connecting. There he is. Hi, Stephen.
What up?
How are you?
Hey.
I'm okay. How you doing?
We're doing good. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
How's everything going?
Oh, same as everybody else, baby.
Well,
we're crazy.
What have you been doing to pass the time away?
Well, they say you never run out of projects around the house.
Yeah.
I thought that I would run out, but I have not run out yet. I refinished my deck finally.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little late, like a half a year late. I have to do it like every year and a half because it's, hardwood and you have to stain it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And, electrical jobs around the house. I'm glad I didn't electrocute myself. But
we're very happy about that too.
I'm not an electrician. I'm messing around with that stuff, but I do.
Well,
Somebody got a kitty cat on there. Is that a cat or a dog?
That's my dog.
That's
Bimby. He's currently licking himself, so I should block him.
Yeah, man.
What's
up with that?
He's bored. He's bored too. He can't do household projects, so he's got to do what he can.
Yeah, we gave our kitty cat a bath today, and he was traumatized. He's he's almost 20.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But we kept smelling shit. Is it because he'll leave little presents around the house?
Yeah.
We kept searching the house, and my wife was in the kitchen, and she said, "Oh my God, it's him!
Oh,
poop anywhere? He stinks."
Smelly cat.
Smelly cat. Smelly cat.
Terrible. Poor thing.
Stephen, are you handy that way?
I'm handy. Yeah.
We have our second guest.
Come to your house.
There she is.
I forgot that there was duct tape. Somebody had worked on my computer, put duct tape over my little camera.
The camera?
It was all a blur, and I've been sitting here scraping it, trying to get it together. But anyway, hi everybody. How are you guys?
Hi.
Well, here she is.
Hi.
We have Mary Beth Evans and Stephen Nichols, of course, in the Zoomverse. How are you, Mary Beth?
I'm good. I feel like I need a bookcase behind me. Stephen has a bookcase, but anytime you see any of the CNN correspondents, anybody, they always have a bookcase in the background.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea.
Yeah.
On that note, I have major house envy now. Anytime I watch the news or CNN and I see how these people live, I'm like, I want that house.
Yours looks really nice. You in a hotel room? That was really nice.
Every video Ellen does, she's in another part of this fabulous spread.
Oh my gosh. And Jimmy Fallon too.
Who?
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon does that too?
Yes.
Bill Maher's been doing his show from his house, and he stands out in the garden. He did it in the rain the other night. It's incredible.
I need to see that.
It looks like he doesn't have very good taste. His house is kind of a mess.
To each his own. To each his own.
I know. I want the French.
With all that money.
I just was watching Saturday Night Live. Did you guys see that? I was just watching on YouTube when Tom Hanks. Everybody did it remotely.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was interesting.
Yeah.
I just saw the opening thing right now. Then I had to come do this, and then I realized I had the tape and the thing. So what have you guys been doing now that you've been all locked up?
Well, I've been keeping myself busy by like a lot of things that I haven't had a chance to do. I've been trying to get those done, but also creatively, I've just been like going on Instagram Live and like chit-chatting with people and interviewing them and stuff like that.
Stephen and I tried to do Instagram live. We had some problems.
It wasn't Instagram, baby. Wasn't that FaceTime?
No.
No, that wasn't. Yeah.
I don't have Facebook or anything.
Shows you how much I know.
Listen, everyone has been discovering the world of social media. Like Billy Flynn a couple of weeks ago got on Instagram Live for the first time, and we were watching him trying to figure out how to do the Instagram Live and how to add people in and how to talk to people. So everyone is just having a time now with social media, but it's keeping us connected, which is really good. So that's
they say people are more connected now with their friends and families than usual.
Right. Yeah.
Because we all want to keep in touch now. We all want to reach out and see how people are doing. And I find talking to everybody much more.
Yeah.
Zoom thing is cool though. We did a Zoom Seder with like people in all different, East Coast areas. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Did that too.
Yeah.
Seder.
We even read the questions. We even did it all.
Yeah, Bowie read the questions. Hey, you're gonna love this, Mary Beth. Bowie read the questions and the answers. Every answer Ruby gave was because we're slaves. After every question, the answer was because we're slaves.
Well, I swear we're in the middle of all the plagues now, right? Especially California. You get the fires, the rain, the
oh my God,
earthquakes.
This,
It's just too much.
Too much.
Mary Beth, what have you been up to during this whole quarantine?
I feel like it hasn't been that bad. It's been, I always have things to do, but my daughter had a baby on February 23rd.
Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And they live very close. So I see him every day. And, when there's a newborn baby around, you don't get anything done. Before you know it, it's 4 o'clock. So that's been super great. And just, like everybody, the cleaning lady that used to come, nobody's coming. So I'm doing all that and the laundry and baking and cooking and, gardening but it's been raining here for a week, as you know.
Yeah.
So, yesterday was kind of, we all thought it was on our way to beauty, but actually, my husband and I, who have been together for 40 years, have never really gone for long walks together. We've been doing like 5 miles a day, the two of us.
Yeah.
So
my husband and I, we've been taking.
He's been home and he never, he works all the time. So this part's been really nice, and he's got to enjoy the baby too, which is so great.
I feel like I've seen parts of my neighborhood. Well, I've seen parts of my neighborhood in West Hollywood that I've never seen before. Because every day,
on the street 6 feet apart, but they were saying the same thing.
Yeah, we're like my husband and I try to take our dog for a walk every day. We go somewhere, and every day it's like, let's try this route, let's try that route, and we're like, there's some nice houses and it's quiet in this part of town, So
and everybody knows that who's going to go. It's like boating. They always say in boating you have to make a very direct move out of the way so the other boat knows for sure what you're doing. And it's kind of like that walking now. It's like way ahead. One person heads to the street and one, the other people are going. So you have to make very decisive moves of how you're going to stay apart.
And every time I want to be the one to be nice and move out of the way, my dog finds a bush to sniff and will not move. Bimby, come on. And I look at the other person, with my mask on, and they can't tell if I'm smiling or whatever. I just kind of wave and I'm like, sorry, I can't move.
Our dog has actually sat us down and said, enough walks.
You're homebound.
Done.
I believe that.
This is
They look at you and
ridiculous.
say-
Enough.
They look up at you and say, don't you have someplace to be?
Do.
I want my
don't want
laptop
you
back.
home.
Go away.
I put on Instagram, but there was this great cartoon where the human is in the house in a chair and the dog is going out, and it's like, be good while I'm gone, and the dog
I've said that this is the staycation that I've asked for. Like, I have just wanted to just kind of chill out and like get things done and catch up on TV and things like that. And I'm having a great time. So this is great for me.
Yeah.
Although
I hope 3 months don't pass and I find that I haven't gotten any of those things done.
That's what's weird. I still don't have the closets cleaned out. It's weird.
Well, because now we feel like we have time, and especially now that they've extended this to May 15th, we're thinking like, oh, we'll get to that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, today I can just sit in my pajamas and, you know, go through all of Netflix and I'll be fine.
With things like cleaning, I always think it's like, oh, the things I don't want to do, it's like, okay, I'll do it when I have nothing else to do. Now, even when I have nothing else to do, I'm like, what else can I do except that one thing, like cleaning out the closet or cleaning anything really, like spring cleaning. Yeah, but I'm still working. My job, luckily, like we're still good, and I'm working from home and everything. So most of my day is occupied, but I do find like I need to fill some free time. So I should start making a list and go through everything. And yeah, because I don't want to come out the other end of this be like I had all that time and did nothing.
Mary Beth, I have a question for you. So during Day of Days, Chelsea and you sat down and had a chat, and you gave her, I forget what recipe. You guys were talking different recipes.
That was my question.
Yeah. Do you have a recipe now that we're home? Do you have like a good?
I did post on Instagram, and I'm going to do it again this afternoon when we get off here. It's some amazing oatmeal cookies. On Instagram just the other day. Delicious. I've been trying different things. I you know, one of the things I love is, and however you say it, you know, the pasta with pepper, cacio de pepe, or however they say it. So I just made that last night, and actually that worked out pretty well, which is just really pasta, water, cheese, and noodles, like hardly anything, and tons of pepper. But you have to do it in a certain way where it doesn't turn to glue. Right, Stephen? You know about pasta, don't you, baby?
Maybe a little bit. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Have you ever had that one? It's just pepper. It's just pepper and cheese. It's just cracked pepper.
Okay.
Anyway, but those oatmeal cookies. But you know, I'm just thinking today that it's hard to come up with this many meals all the time.
So hard.
It's hard to eat 3 meals a day, but I'm getting fat now.
Yeah.
When you talk
3 meals a day, I never eat 3 meals.
Cleaning out and how many more weeks do we have? That's going to be the thing about getting your act together and stop the cocktails and the pasta and everything. Okay, I've got 2 weeks left. Everybody's got to pull it together.
I need some advance notice. What's your name? I don't know you.
Oh, this is Chelsea. Chelsea's one of our newest.
I was a Day of Days, but I didn't do the interviews this year because I was the surprise guest.
Yeah,
you were the surprise guest, but it's so nice to officially meet you over Zoom. I saw you on the stage at Day of Days. But you guys should do definitely Instagram Live, and Mary Beth, you should do an Instagram Live cooking those oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, definitely.
And, the problem is that who's
that
shooting?
could be something.
You know what I mean? You don't have anybody around to shoot it. That's the problem.
I can
find a way to prop the
that's right. I can't come over.
Yeah, it gets tricky.
A little tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or prop it up on the counter.
I'll see what I can do. I'll figure out something. I should do that for sure.
We have nothing but time to figure things out. So you know, why not?
Amazon, baby. Amazon. There's a little tripod with a light and a whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Order it. It'll be there in a week.
And my mother-in-law in New York says she lets her boxes sit for 3 days before she touches them.
Oh, so
that's actually smart.
That is. I never thought about that.
Wipe them down. We wipe everything down. We cut the boxes open, throw the boxes away with gloves. Wipe everything down that's inside. Cardboard. It's like, what do they say? 3 days, but what is it? No, 24 hours for cardboard.
Is it?
Days for cellophane and plastic. So you want to wipe the plastic down.
The 3 days I think
they don't
is
come in the house till we
metal.
wipe them down.
Yeah, just better be safe. Better to be safe.
Yeah.
How's everyone sleeping?
I'm actually sleeping better than normal for some reason. I don't know why.
I have some freaky dreams, but I do sleep all right.
Yeah. People have been handling this really differently. You know, some are, it's easy breezy and it's all fine. And then some people are having a really difficult time.
Really a lot of anxiety over it. And I just, you know, for different reasons. I mean, if you have your own company and different things, there's a lot at stake. But like we all know, we're all in the same boat. We're all just have to hunker down and just try to stay calm and just appreciate. Like now that spring is here and things are starting to bloom, you can't help but appreciate the, you know, the renewal and all that.
Yeah. We do have to say we have thoroughly enjoyed y'all's storylines thus far, and we're anxious to see the decision that Kayla has made.
Both of they got two guys liking me. That's a really unusual.
Hey yo.
About time.
I've heard a couple little things about what people are saying, so I don't want to go there too far because I get upset. But I think the story's been good, and you know what? You need drama, you need conflict, or these shows don't even happen. So, and for Patch and Kayla, they keep needing times and different stories to kind of renew their love and renew their stuff. So I think the vehicle of it works.
Yeah, and Stephen,
so amazing as Stefano. I mean, geez.
Yes,
Louise.
that's
so
what I was
good.
gonna say. We've been giving you so many kudos on your portrayal as Stefano, or as we call him, Steveno.
Yes, right.
And we thought that it was so good that how you kind of took the essence of the character and portrayed him. So it was really great.
I had some fun.
I've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
I appreciate that.
You worked hard. That was hard.
I had some good days. I had some fun days doing that, and I'm happy that I had a chance to do it. It kind of invigorated my whole game. I just felt, I really had to work hard.
Yeah.
What was the most challenging and what was the most gratifying part of playing Stefano?
To play a person who feels that they are in command all the time, and what they say is gospel. To feel that powerful, to bring all that power and just say, well, what do you mean? You don't tell me, you don't tell Stefano the Manor what to do. All these people, everybody is beneath him. And just to play someone who has that much power, but also has, some vulnerability, like with his family and with his children. It was a lot of fun.
On this show, and I've watched Stephen do it so many times too, but for everybody, you have to 100% commit to whatever it is. Like, this story may seem, far-fetched or out there or whatever, but if you as the actor don't 100% commit, you can't pull it off. And Stephen 100% committed, and everybody involved in the story 100% committed. And then it works. It's amazing. And,
sometimes when you read it, you think there's no way in hell. First of all, when they said this is what you'll be doing, what? I was really gobsmacked, as they say, by the whole idea. But as I got into it, I thought, what am I going to do? Well, Joe Mascola, he was a master. He was a great actor, and he was operatic, and he had all of these wonderful gestures and the voice and the accent and the whole. I just have to watch Joe. And that's what I did. I just dove in and watched so much of his story and his thing. And he and I worked together. It was interesting to watch a lot of scenes that he and I did together. And I could see how he felt about Patch. And so and here I am in Steve Johnson's body. How does he feel about that? He does not like that, but just got to do what he can do.
But you nailed it. I mean, everything from the gestures, I literally thought I was looking at Stefano. So you did a really good job.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to study that?
I just had an iPad in my dressing room, and every day before I would go on, I would look at a lot of Joe, and just to have it empty. Not to imitate, but just to sort of try to absorb as much as I could, and then just go and hit the boards and do it. But we had so much, and we were doing sometimes 2 or 3 full episodes a day. And when you're in a front burner storyline doing that, it's sink or swim. You have to pull it together and put it out there, and you can't think about it. You just have to put it out there.
Yeah. And it's funny because I talk about this all the time, but I follow the Patch and Kayla Instagram. I always talk about this, but that's about the only part. That's the only way I see the show, or these little teeny clips.
Yeah.
There was one the other day that was about Kayla getting the power of attorney to get him to have the surgery or something. And I was thinking, I saw this and I was thinking, I don't even remember that. Like, that's the way it is, because we are so concentrating on just trying to get through each scene because of the memorization makes it so hard
Mm-hmm.
that, and then as soon as you're done with the scene, you're like, okay, push that one in the trash and move on to this next one. Otherwise, it's too grand, you can't do it. So it just always kills me. I sometimes I'll send these clips over to Stephen and I'll just say, I don't even remember saying that, doing that, being there, nothing.
My favorite part was the surgery when you took you and Chelsea.
And it was going to self-destruct.
The chip out, and it had a little voice.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Talked about that.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I know.
What the hell? And I had to be asleep. It was all I could do not to bust out laughing during all of it. It was,
It's just
Mary Beth, we have to say there are a lot of people that are team Justin and Kayla.
Oh, I saw, this is the thing. Like
I'm sorry.
say that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You had to say that in front of me. No. Here's what I think. Hashtag adios dimples.
I've heard poor
In that
dimples.
hashtag.
Hashtag poor dimples. Here's the thing. In Stephen's in my position. I mean, how about him kissing Marlena? Okay, let me just take it back for a second.
That was so
yeah.
weird. That was so weird.
Okay, so there's, I'm not the only one here, but I think Kayla is, her heart, is always with Steve. It's always like that. But there's a part of Justin that she was really attracted to, which was this just straight, solid thing. And she was all on that track. And then he comes back, and then it was a conflict too. Like, wouldn't Kayla just, especially when she finds out that he didn't really know when this all came about, it wasn't his choice. I feel like Kayla would have been, oh my gosh, she must run back to him. But there's all these things that go on that keep her from doing that. So it's about, and I wanted to justify the Justin relationship, that I wanted to be, that she meant it, that it wasn't just, I love this guy today and this guy tomorrow and whatever. And that you can love two people at the same time. Stephen, don't listen to that, but. Marlena, come on.
I mean, I have to say,
that was Stefano, not Steve.
Yeah. That's what they all.
I'm sorry to say, Stephen, I was liking Justin and Kayla together.
Totally.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
Totally.
Sorry.
I liked Justin and Kayla together, but my ideal is Steve and Kayla.
Yeah.
That's my ideal.
Yeah.
Like they're each other's lobsters. They have to be together.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was one of the things that we loved about the Time Jump storyline, is that it introduced characters to one another that we never would have thought of working.
I have known Wally for 34 years. I have never worked with him more than, 4 of us in a scene or, something like that. It was really different. I love him to pieces. He's very chatty, way chatty. Very upbeat. But it was really fun for us, and that we just wanted to kind of keep it simple. And he, from the very beginning, was like, "Oh, this is never going to work. I know that you're going to end up with Steve in the end. I know I'm going to get hurt." Like, he was always joking like that. But we tried to just keep it as real as we could. And you know what? Like I said, we are given this material, and we have to figure out a way to justify it, commit to it, and do it the best we can, and walk that that tightrope of. I mean, I don't want to insult viewers. I don't want people to be mad at me, certainly, but I have my script that's given to me, and I want to do the best I can. So how do we do that? So I just want to make sure also that relationship with him was different than the relationship that I had with Steve.
Yeah.
Totally.
Kiss
It
him
is
and-
totally different.
I saw how you kissed him. It wasn't any different. You were really in there.
Different.
I thought at least you would kiss him differently. You wouldn't fix his clothes and touch him.
Kayla's Kayla.
Man, no mercy.
Kayla's all in.
I'm
It's gonna be a
kidding.
hard time today.
I thought the two of you were fabulous together,
It
Mary.
was
Yeah.
cute. I thought it was cute. It was.
I did. No, I thought you guys were great. I love Wally, and he's a really good actor. And and as you guys said, we had the opportunity to work with people we never worked with before. I, in particular, was working with just about everybody, and I had some really great stuff with Lauren, with Kate, and with Kristen, with my sister,
Christian.
Tracy Haddock, and Christian, and I mean, I got to work with everybody. Billy.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well,
I think Wally and Mary Beth did a great job, and
I agree.
And obviously, it was destined to always come back to Patch and Kayla, but it's not over yet.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. Agreed. Well, we don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. We wanted the fans a chance to see you guys and see that you guys are doing well and that you're living your quarantine life.
Out there is doing well because it's rough, but you just got to. I swear, stay calm.
Yeah. You guys look great. You seem like you're all doing really well.
Yeah, these guys are great. Yeah.
You two look like you're doing great too. Yeah, especially
with most makeup. This lipstick is the most I've had on. I didn't get to my husband today. Like I have to put makeup on one time, and you look at your closet and even your nice clothes. You're like, what's the point? Yeah. I just do laundry. It's only my Lululemon pants.
I have a friend who said she has her daytime jammies and her nighttime jammies.
Totally.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Welcome to quarantine life. Well, you both look amazing, and thank you so much for joining us. And we can't wait to have you guys back in our studio so we can really dive into some stuff.
This is the one time you say, "Thank goodness the days of our lives is so far ahead."
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very happy about that. Like you guys don't have to rearrange anything. We're good till like October or something.
Ron said they have shot through October, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you guys have time.
What's he doing? If you've talked to him, Michael, what's he up to?
Oh no, I just see his Twitter. I follow on one of his tweets.
You have him on like the speed dial?
No, Ron, what's up? How you doing in the Hamptons? How's the Hamptons? He's always in the Hamptons. Yeah.
Well, it's probably a good thing we don't have him on speed dial because I'll keep pestering him about putting me on the show. So he's probably happy about that.
You get blocked quick. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much, and
thanks for having us.
So much.
Of course.
Later. We'll see you
Bye.
Be well.
Bye, you guys. Stay safe.
You too.
I love that. That was. I'm glad that we're doing this. This is so good.
Yeah.
And all the fans seem to enjoy it as well. So
I have to step away for a moment. I have a little situation, but I'll be right back.
Go step away.
Well, when you come back, we're gonna have our next guest because they're all waiting in the wings.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm gonna say, Ryan, let them in. This is Quarantine Check Part 2, and we have some more people joining us. We've got
what happened?
Oh,
I knew you were kicking us off to get some more people in there now. I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up right now.
Oh my God.
Hi, everybody. So now we're joined by James Reynolds, Lamon Archey, and of course, Galen Gering. Hi, everybody.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Galen, is that a for real background, or is that like a one of those Zoom backdrops?
No, I was actually just experimenting. So you can go and you can put a backdrop in,
That's
and
so
then
cool.
I wasn't trying to actually put this one in. This is in Lake Tahoe. That's my kid when he was like 5.
Oh my God.
It really makes my lid look pretty funny. Hi, everybody.
Finally, well, this is Galen's first time on DISHIN Days, so finally we've made it happen.
It only took a pandemic.
Quite a few firsts with this the zooming.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't have a good excuse to get out of it because I should be home, right? So I'll be
that's how we're getting you. We're like, what else are you going to be doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. You know what, Tony? I honestly didn't know that I was waiting in line or had been turning you down, so I apologize for that. Let me get this stupid background off.
Hi, Lamon. Hi, James.
Well, where are they?
There.
Hey guys.
Let's
try. I've done like 6 meetings. For some reason today I can't get you all on the screen, but I hear you. Hey,
okay.
I just saw you.
Lamon, I can't hear you.
Wait, Lamon, is your
Lamon, you there?
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Hey, there you
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. There we go. It's
All right. I like the beer, James.
Well, it's the quarantine beard.
Yeah.
Somebody said the other day that the paparazzi keeps looking for celebrities, and all they see is people with gray hair and beards.
So how have you guys been doing? Well, Lamon, you celebrated your birthday this week. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lamon. What's
yes,
up?
Lamon.
Gracias. Thank you.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys holding up during this whole quarantine?
Well, we're doing great. We've got everything here and a great neighborhood. So we walk out. We've got neighbors that we've never seen before. Never. They're all out walking their dogs, and parents and kids are walking, and it's actually there's a lot of really good stuff going on during this horrible time.
Yeah.
So James doesn't have kids that are home from school, if you know what I'm saying. Like his kids are all grown up. So.
Oh, there's a fur baby. Fur baby.
Oh, she just kicked me off of the meeting.
Oh no,
you're still on it.
You're still on.
You're there.
Still good.
At least we think. Oh,
amazing.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now who's done Zoom? Whatever. I've done Zoom.
Everybody's fun.
I feel like I have done Zoom more than Zoom has probably ever existed. Like I get Zoom invites all the time. It's like the new thing.
I know.
Like, do you want to do a happy hour? Do you want to play a game? Do you want to just chit chat? And I'm just like, all right, sure. I mean, I don't have anything else to do. My DVR is cleared. I think I've gone through Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus, so we're good.
So you're Tiger King'd out?
Oh gosh.
Carol Baskin.
Tiger King was the most uncomfortable series to watch. I was very uncomfortable watching that.
Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, have you seen it?
No.
Yeah.
Since you're such an expert, Tone, how do I get the background off? Because now it's like making me crazy.
You know what? I don't know. Like I'm still learning how to like do all that, and that's something I have my home as the background.
Yeah.
So
well, I had mine too until recently. By recently, I mean like just now.
Okay. So there's an arrow next to the video button, and it says choose virtual background. Maybe if you click that, it will take it off.
Stop video.
Yeah, it's the arrow pointing up.
Yeah.
Just be careful. None of your nude photos pop up in the back.
That it's right out of my mouth, Lamon. Totally.
Can you imagine? That would be horrible. Horrible.
This is a PG background.
To a friend in England the other day who said that there was I guess it's making the rounds online, but was having they were having a business meeting, big company.
Oh.
And one of the top executives, this woman took her video into the bathroom with her.
Yeah.
I saw that video. I
saw that.
No.
Oh man.
You got to.
It's like, how do you not
be very
know?
careful.
Is the word "excuse me" out of the English language now?
I guess so. Well, I guess because people are still figuring out Zoom and everything like that. Maybe she assumed she hit the button that said, "Oh, I'm gonna not show my
stop video."
Camera. Yeah. But then there she is, just doing her business. So see, that's why I do everything before I sign on. Like I get in my space, I got my light, I make sure ain't nothing behind me, nothing's gonna pop up, so that way I don't end up on the internet.
Any more that you are.
Michael Mattes, what do you know that I don't know?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think I know that I know?
I have no idea at this point. So Galen, are you homeschooling are you playing teacher for your?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, they have this online program for both my kids' schools, and it amounts to seemingly like an hour a day for them, which is not nearly enough. But so we're just augmenting that. Luckily, my youngest is super into playing music, so he just got a new guitar and he's just jamming with that. And I'm trying to get my older one, who's 13, just to be inspired by other things. He wants to go into media and all that. So, but you know, to be honest with you, I'm so lucky. Like, we got space here. We got a good neighborhood. Until recently, like, there were trails open, park was open, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I know there are people, you know, for instance, in New York or something, living in an apartment, or, you know, it'd be a lot harder. So I'm grateful for that. And it's, to be honest, like, silver lining is we're spending a lot more time together, which is pretty cool. I mean, honestly, like, I've been enjoying it.
Lamon, how has it been for you?
I miss my alone time.
Let's be real.
I want these kids to go back to school. It's driving me crazy. The dog is probably over me. I'm tired of drinking. I'm tired of weed. I'm tired of it all.
How was your birthday, man?
It was horrible. Let me tell you. After I did the damn live meeting, I was so wasted. I was throwing up.
Oh, come on!
I'm never drinking again.
What were you drinking? You were drinking something.
I had some Tito's vodka.
Oh yeah. Wow. How did you pound that whole fifth?
Huh?
You drink that whole thing?
Oh, absolutely not. I would be in the hospital with alcohol poisoning and coronavirus. But I'm good now. You know, I'm hanging out sober, feeling
good,
ready for these kids to go back to school and for us to get back to work and back to life.
Yeah. Well, I hung out in your Instagram live for your birthday. I did a little dance for you. And
okay. You joined in it with the dance?
I did. And then and you know, I had a good time. I didn't have a hangover or anything the next day, but you know, I was good. But hey, I'm glad you had a good time because it was your day.
Thank you.
Isn't it funny though? Wherever you guys live, how many people are in the streets walking around?
Yeah.
Well,
it's very old school, like probably how life used to be 50 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly dig that part of it. And like James said, I've seen people, I was like, oh, you live in a neighborhood, or it's just, I kind of dig that part of it.
Even
I'm like old
I live in
grandpa. I just sit right outside, right in front of my window and just watch people walk by. I'm like that.
People watch.
Lamon, you got your slides on with your socks right now, man. Get them up.
Well,
let's see them.
I do have my socks on right now.
Okay.
I live at the front door.
Oh, good.
I feel like I might be the only one actually wearing shoes.
Are you the only one? Like, I have to admit, from waist up, I'm presentable.
And then waist down?
I'm just in shorts. Thing? Like, yeah. And no shoes.
Oh, no pants. So other than that.
James, how's Lisa doing?
She's doing great. She's just, I mean, she's, you know, she does at least 4 exercise classes a week.
That's so awesome.
That is really
teaching Sunday school virtually.
Yeah.
Let's see, we both have had a number of business meetings and on Zoom, and you know, it really is. I mean, it's very strange. I mean, it's not something any of us have ever done before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really bizarre world. But at the moment, you know, things are good for us, and we're just trying to ride it out.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We had Paul Telfer on, I think it was last week, and he said it doesn't feel any different. This is an actor's life. Like this is like being on the back burner, and you know, for a few months, and not really knowing when the phone's gonna ring, and doesn't feel that unusual.
Except to go to the grocery store and hug people as a regular actor.
Yeah. It's this is all it's been very interesting, but like I find myself trying to keep very productive and trying to keep as much of a regular schedule as I can. Because if not, then I'm just gonna sit here all day, and between Days, Netflix, and Hulu, and old episodes of That's So Raven. Like that's gonna my quarantine. I have literally gone through. I think I'm on season 3 of That's So Raven, and I've just been living my life with it.
Oh my!
I love That's So Raven.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Have you seen
enjoy
Frozen
it.
2?
No, not yet. I'm gonna watch that and Aladdin. I watched Sister Act again the other day. So yeah,
wow.
Yeah, that and that is quarantine life right now. that is it. But so you guys have all been doing great on the show. We've enjoyed this time jump and how the storylines have happened and everything like that. So, and Days has no worries about episodes because y'all have filmed up until the end of the year, I think. So
damn near.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like 6 years left in the can.
Exactly.
That's good.
I have a question for Galen. Like, I feel like I look wrecked after, like, I don't know, like my whole regimen has been altered, but you just look so pristine. What's your secret?
Oh, for God's sake.
You look so great. You came on my screen, I was like, ooh, he's glowing. Like
there is a little bit of a glow. I don't know if it's like lighting or like the TV behind you or what.
So much for us,
wrecked,
Shane.
man. No, don't kid yourself. I shaved yesterday, so that was, you know, I was looking like Jim Reynolds down there, like 18 hours ago. I don't know. My wife cut my hair, but that was cool.
Nice.
So, but thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't look bad to me, by the way. But I think, you know, there definitely is that propensity to be like, okay, I'm going back to the refrigerator. I'm going back to the cupboard. How do I, you know, like, you got to find ways. Like I was saying, I was kind of bummed they closed the trails and everything because that was fun to get out and exercise, and because it's hard to stay motivated. You know, I finally just started getting back in the gym, and then they shut that damn thing down. I was like, y'all kill me. I get it. Have to, right? I mean, so
but there's like a million IG live workouts that are happening that you can hop on.
Totally. In fact, with that said, my wife and I, we just signed back up for a class, this really great, incredible yoga class, which they're doing now every day. That's super hard. So yeah, you know, it's really going to be interesting for me how this will all change our lives moving forward. I mean, once the pandemic and all that's under control, like, I think it'll be great for my kids, for instance, for education. I think they'll be blast off into the future, have so much more exposure to great stuff. And I mean, I think for exercise too, like all that stuff online, I mean, things like Peloton and all that, people are so into it. So
yeah. I think you'll have to change in the workplace. A lot of these people working at home are probably staying at home when this is over too. And it's going to bring a lot of changes into the lives. But as I said, there's a lot of good stuff going on out there. What the 81,000 people in 2 days came out to volunteer, retired healthcare workers and doctors, and you know, people are just kind of helping each other, and hopefully we'll keep some of that.
Yeah, I think there'll be a new appreciation of people that we often disregarded, because there are very essential people that we are very thankful that they are working. I do not want their job, but I'm glad that they have their job.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, you know, I would love to go apply at Rouse right now, but I just can't. It's a little too nerve-wracking for me to put myself in that position. But I was very thankful when I went and got my groceries earlier that they were there. So kudos to them.
That would also cancel that unemployment check too.
I'm happy for those people too, because I just got my notice. This is the first time I've never had to file for unemployment. Like this is a new world for me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. Bound to happen.
Had to stand in line at the unemployment. Then you had to talk them out of sending you out for an interview at some factory.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
I'm very happy. I'm glad that I was able to do it online and just sit and wait for correspondence. So
yeah,
thankful for that.
It's a lot. When I had to do it a couple years ago, it's not just like you check a box that you're unemployed and they want.
It's a whole thing.
It's the whole thing. It took me like 2 hours to do it, and for someone that's not, very tech savvy or can't follow that stuff, it can be really difficult.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of posts about people like having trouble or not being able to contact anybody. So I'm sure they're overloaded on their end as well.
They said like 6.6 million people applied.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's incredible. They're overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed before this happened.
Yeah.
And there are other things like that whole Real ID thing. I don't know how many of you have it. I don't.
Oh, when does that start?
That's
October.
Oh,
They
good.
postponed it though.
They postponed it a year.
Yeah, because it's possible. You have to go into the DMV to get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I found out that as long as you have a passport, you're fine. Because I went to go get it and they were like, do you have a passport? And I'm like, yeah. They were like, you can just use that. And I was like, oh, well, then I'm going to go.
You just need to use it now. Like if you're going from like state to state, you have to use the passport or the real ID. Once it
okay.
Yeah. Because I thought it was a thing that you had to have. But I'm glad she explained it because I didn't want to wait 5 hours in the DMV.
Well, I had to go recently. So I had to go get my eyes checked. I was like, oh boy, here we go. First of all, like I was annoyed that I had to do it. And then secondly, I was terrified that I was going to flunk the test, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I passed the test. But I wanted to get the Real ID because I saw like you're not going to be able to fly and do all this stuff. So I was like, I might as well do it now because who wants to go back to the DMV, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, well, you got to have your social security card and I was like, I haven't had a social security card since I was like 12. Like when I got it, I didn't know my number. So I'm kind of happy. I was like, oh, good. They postponed it.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
About that.
There's a lot that's been postponed. I feel like if we can come out of this and be okay, the end of the year is going to be popping. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff.
November and December are going to
Yeah.
It better be.
It better be. Exactly.
Well, let me tell you, as a Kansas Jayhawk fan, this was their year, and I am that won't be rerun. So we were very unhappy.
Yeah. I do feel bad for the because like right when this happened, a lot of the tournaments were starting to happen, and I'm like, ooh, to work all year and then get there and then it all get canceled. Yeah. I'm clearly not a sports fan, but I felt bad for them.
And the Olympics too.
Oh yeah, and the Olympics. Yeah. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of changes, but like I think for the most part, we're all just dealing with it day to day. So, and it's good to see that you guys are doing well and that you guys are taking it in as much as you can,
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's really a moment in history that nobody alive unless you're 102 has ever experienced, and it's interesting being in the middle. We've been in the middle of stuff before, but this is worldwide. This is the entire planet. It's just really incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a moment that we won't forget. I feel like we went into 2020 thinking this is gonna be my year, and then Corona said, "Hold up, I got different plans for y'all. We're gonna pump the brakes real quick."
Yeah,
I had a surprise. Yeah, well, they just did it so Lamon wouldn't forget this birthday.
I think
I missed it.
I don't think Lamon is gonna forget this birthday because this.
No.
This is one for the books. It's gonna be like, you remember that Rona birthday? Yep.
The Rona.
Lamon, that'd have been awesome if you started blowing chunks like on the live thing.
Oh god.
Oh my god. No, y'all don't want to see that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. That ain't pretty.
Michael, I've got to ask you: is your bed always that neat?
Thanks to my husband, when we're not in it, yes, it is always that neat. He makes the bed every morning. Once we're both up,
Really?
He'll go in there, and it's. I guess it's the growing up. He always had to do it, so it was really instilled in him that like you need to make. It was not instilled in me. So when I was living alone, pre-marriage, my bed was never made. Never, except when I changed the sheets and would make it.
Yeah. Mine just gets like a good shake. Like I just get the comforter and just go poof, and however it lays, that's just how the bed is. No one else is gonna see it except me, so I don't mind how it looks.
You never know, Tony. One night at Mickey's,
Listen, that'll be a great night for somebody else. Good luck to them.
I gotta stop at Ralph's to get my cereal really quick. Yeah, that'll be that. Yeah, 2 a.m. Ralph's visit. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Well, y'all, I'm getting the message that we have to wrap things up, and of course, I don't want to take up all of y'all's Corona time. But I'm
we
glad
have
you
nothing
guys...
to do, Tony. Okay.
Where to go?
We could go to we could do a telephone right now.
Exactly. No, I'm glad that you guys decided to pop on, because I think a lot of the fans just want to know that you guys are doing okay and see you guys, and I'm glad that you guys agreed to come on so that people can it's different to tweet like, hey, how's everybody doing, but to actually see you guys, it's like it's different. So I'm glad you guys joined us for our quarantine check, as we called it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank you
Glad
very
you
much.
survived your birthday, Lamone. Glad to see you doing well.
Yeah. I'm
still alive.
Are you still, is it one of those like 3-day hangovers? Yeah.
No, you know what? I threw up every drop of alcohol I drank around 3 a.m. So I got rid of it all. I got rid of it all.
I'm gonna since it's Easter Sunday, I'm gonna say an extra prayer for you, Lamone, that tomorrow you rise.
Thank you.
That'll be my Easter gift to you.
I'm taking all the blessings I can get.
Oh my God. Well, we appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for checking in. And once this is all over, of course, we would love to have y'all back in the studio so we can actually see each other and talk and talk about, what's happening, what's going on. So hopefully that'll happen in the near future than in the latter future.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. You all look wonderful, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you. No, you guys look great too. Although Lamone, I still have an issue with you coming for my look. I don't appreciate that, but I'm gonna let it slide.
You trying to get with my beard though? Look,
no, but see,
hairstyle, you still in the beard.
No, see, I always had this. And then all of a sudden you decided you wanted to have it too. You could have just, you could have kept to your low do and let me have the high do, but you had to come to my gig.
I'll trade you. Okay. You get rid of the beard. I'll get rid of the top.
Done. Okay, but after Corona, like that'll be post-Corona look.
Corona, yes.
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah. I'll get rid of the beard. You get rid of that. We'll go back to how things were. All right, you guys will stay safe, and we'll be in touch with you guys.
Thanks.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. See y'all later.
Bye, you guys. Take care. Wash your hands.
Everybody.
Well, bye, guys.
Bye. Galen.
Bye,
Bye,
Galen.
guys.
See y'all.
Bye,
See
Galen.
you.
Bye.
See you. Hey, you.
Bye.
Just waving at everybody.
For everybody.
Waving again.
See you later.
Bye now.
Oh my goodness. Yay. I'm
fun.
glad that was fun. I'm glad that everybody popped in and we had a chance to talk to everybody and check in with everyone and make sure everyone's doing okay. So everyone's doing good. Everyone's doing good. Everyone looks good.
Yeah.
He looked great. He came on my screen. I was just like, whoa.
He looks amazing.
It just really took me. I'm like, I look like crap, but
Michael Mattes.
Yeah.
Calm down, Michael.
Sorry.
He's all getting excited.
Calm down. Well,
make that bed.
We'll be happy to hopefully do another quarantine check with you guys next week. But before we officially sign off, because this time we have time to do this, Michael Mattes, tell the folks where they can check in on your quarantine life.
You can check in on my quarantine on my Instagram, Instagram and Twitter, ML Mattes.
Chelsie Overocker.
And you can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker and on Twitter at Chels Overocker.
And Miss Tami Goveia.
You can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and on Insta, Tami.Goveia.
And of course, you can find all of us on Facebook and Instagram, Dishin Days or _Dishin Days on Twitter. And you can find me and my quarantine life over at Lounging with Tony on all social media platforms or my website, loungingwithtony.com. I want to thank, we want to thank Mary Beth Evans, Stephen Nichols, Galen Gering, Lamon Archey, and James Reynolds for all joining us today for our quarantine check-in. Thank you guys for tuning in. And please have a very happy Easter. I hope you guys stay safe and continue doing well. We will be back next week for another full recap of your favorite Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Until then, have a great day, y'all.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.